Welcome to our Dreambox training overview videos. This is our video looking at the Standards tab in your dashboard, your teacher dashboard. So this is just when you click on the Standards tab, this is what it looks like right off the bat. Usually when you log in, you are going to be landing in this overview tab. This is what it'll look like. We're just going to jump over to standards. And the standards tab is really helping us dig into some curriculum connections to what Dreambox has been working with our students. I'm going to click on, this is kind of like a sandbox situation. So it's got a range of grades. So I'm going to click on a specific grade in the top. If you're working with your students and you want to look at, a grade below where they've been placed, or maybe the grade 6 class and you want to look at some grade 5 content that Dreambox might have covered for them, that's one way you can just click on prior grades and look at that. Again, we are toggled off that new experience so that we can see this view. The new experience looks very different and is in beta, so we're just going to have that off until it's ready for us. Okay, so as you can see here, we are in the Ontario curriculum, and it should default to Ontario curriculum for you. And you can see that we've got the strands. This is not the 2020 update. The 2020 update is coming. Dreambox is currently working on that, but this is prior years the curriculum. So we're just going to continue with that. At the top here, you can see the strands that are covered and the specific expectations. And if you scroll over them, you can get a pop-up that tells you what the specific expectation is. Because, the code's helpful to see the strand, but you might not know what the specific code is. So here we got measure and construct angles up to 180 degrees using a protractor and classify them as acute, right, obtuse, or straight angles. So there's a few things that we can look at for our class. The green is that they've worked on this standard and they have shown proficiency, so they're proficient. The half blue, half white circle is the in progress, so they're working on this. And it shows you that indication for each strand across all your students. And it'll give you a total for, I think we were in P3 here. Yes, so P3, we've got one student who's proficient at this, and we've got 23 that are working on it in this classroom. So if I actually scroll over, so I want to see, and I can see that Adam's working on it, but how much progress does he have? If I scroll over, it tells me he's a third, 33% through that concept, and Antoine is 38%. So it gives you an idea, just very like specific curriculum connected progress. If I wanted to, if I click on this, you'll see a couple of arrows there that shows I can order my class. Right now it's by name, alphabetically ordered, but I can order them by their proficiency or progress in this area. So I can see that Jillian is the one student that hasn't started this, and I have a whole bunch that are in progress, and then I've got Fabiola, who is proficient and finished that. So this is one way of small grouping. And if I can do that with a different concept, this one's mostly proficient, right? So maybe I might do a small group with Stacy and Jillian to see where they're at. If I look at this strand, I'm going to go into number. Multiply and divide decimal numbers to the tens. All right, we're looking at a whole bunch of people that haven't started, 2 that are in progress, and a whole bunch that have completed that. So it's a great way of small grouping for specific focused tasks. Another tool that you can use to small group in this situation is the group button, which is really handy actually. This is a grid view of all the expectations across K-8 and where the students are at. But let me go back to 6. If we go to group, under 6, it starts it's the same data, it's just organized in a way that I can look at groups. So I don't want to look at all strands. I just want to look at maybe number sense. And I want to select a cluster that I want to focus on. I think a scroll over. Oh, these are the specifics. solve problems in volume multiplication and division whole numbers. Okay, if we have this as my cluster of expectations that I want to focus on, it shows me the groups. So I have a group of people here that are in progress and a group that are proficient. So I can, and Jillian hasn't started yet. So I can kind of quickly be able to group based on strands and pull out a group that I can work with. Also, there's this add assignment piece that shows up in a few places. It's in this view. It's also in the grid view here. These little buttons are essentially a way to add assignments. And we are going to talk about assignments in our next video. Assignments are a way to like get Dreambox to do specific things with your students. We usually kind of want to be really proficient with using Dreambox and the dashboard and conferencing and all these things before we jump into doing assignments, because it can create snags in our students' experience with Dreambox, but not only with our students' experience, but it can create a bit of a snag for the cycle in which Dreambox uses to progress students. So we just want you guys to be you all to be comfortable with the Dreambox and the dashboard before we get into doing assignments. So it's kind of the last on our list for videos. So that's an overview of the standards tab and how you might use it to dig into what students are growing proficiency in curriculum, but also small grouping students for instruction.